The air crackled with anticipation. The night of August 14th, 1947, held its breath. India stood on the brink of history. After centuries of colonial rule, freedom beckoned. The long night of subjugation was about to end. A new dawn was about to break. Across the vast subcontinent, people stirred with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The weight of expectation hung heavy in the air. This was not just a transfer of power. It was a transformation, a rebirth of a nation. The struggle for independence, long and arduous, had finally borne fruit. From the bustling cities to the remotest villages, the air throbbed with a palpable energy. Homes were adorned with strings of lights and makeshift flags. The tricolour, a symbol of India's newfound identity, fluttered proudly in the hands of children. Songs of freedom, sung with heartfelt emotion, filled the air. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, a sense of unity pervaded the land. The divisions of caste, creed, and religion seemed to melt away. In this moment of shared destiny, Indians stood together, united by the dream of a brighter future. The stage was set for a momentous occasion. The world watched with bated breath.
In Delhi, the heart of the soon-to-be independent nation, the atmosphere was electric. The streets, illuminated by the soft glow of moonlight and flickering lamps, teemed with activity. People from all walks of life converged towards the seat of power, their faces a mix of eagerness and anxiety.
The majestic red fort, a potent symbol of Mughal rule, stood bathed in an ethereal light. It was here that the first Prime Minister of independent India, Jawaharlal Nehru, would address the nation. His words, imbued with the hopes and aspirations of millions, would resonate through the ages. Within the grand halls of the Council House, now Parliament House, the Constituent Assembly was gathering. This august body, tasked with framing the Constitution of Free India, was about to make history. The air within the chamber was thick with anticipation. As the clock neared midnight, a hush fell over the assembled crowd. The weight of the moment was undeniable. India, a land of ancient civilization and rich heritage, was poised to reclaim its place on the world stage.
At the stroke of midnight, I rose to address the nation. My voice, clear and resonant, carried across the airwaves, reaching every corner of the country. Long years ago we made a tryst with destiny, I declared, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge. My words, etched in history, captured the essence of that momentous night. I spoke of the long struggle for freedom, the sacrifices made by countless men and women. I spoke of the dreams of a better future, of a just and equitable society. The achievement we celebrate today is but a step, an opening of opportunity to the greater triumphs and achievements that await us, I proclaimed. I called upon the people of India to embrace this opportunity, to work together to build a nation worthy of their dreams. My speech, imbued with a sense of history and purpose, ignited the spirit of a nation. It was a call to action, a clarion call for unity and progress. As my words echoed across the land, a new chapter in India's long and illustrious history began.
Lord Mountbatten, the last Viceroy of India, addressed the gathering with a mix of nostalgia and hope. Having overseen the intricate process of India's partition, I acknowledged the challenges that lay ahead. I spoke of the need for peace and cooperation between the newly formed nations of India and Pakistan. The relationship between our two countries is no longer that of ruler and ruled, I stated, but of common interests and ideals. My words, though tinged with sadness at the end of the British Raj, carried a message of goodwill. My speech marked the end of an era. It was an acknowledgement of India's hard-won independence, a recognition of the country's rightful place in the world. The transfer of power, though not without its complexities, was a testament to the strength and resilience of the Indian spirit. As I concluded my speech, a wave of emotion swept through the assembly. The moment was bittersweet, a time for reflection as much as celebration. The end of the British Raj marked not just the birth of a new nation, but also the dawn of a new era in global politics.
Section 5. A new era begins. The Indian Independence Act, passed by the British Parliament, came into effect. India was free. The shackles of colonialism had been broken. A wave of jubilation swept through the land as people from all walks of life erupted in celebration. At the Red Fort, the Indian national flag, a tricolour of saffron, white and green, was hoisted for the first time. As the flag unfurled majestically, a collective cheer rose from the throats of thousands gathered below. It was a moment of immense pride and emotion, the culmination of generations of struggle. The hoisting of the Indian flag marked a watershed moment in the nation's history. It was a symbol of India's sovereignty, its hard-won freedom, and its aspirations for the future. The tricolour, with its Ashoka chakra, became an emblem of unity, a rallying point for a nation on the cusp of change. As the flag fluttered in the breeze, it seemed to embody the hopes and dreams of a billion souls. It was a beacon of hope, a symbol of a new dawn for India and its people. The significance of this moment resonated far beyond the borders of the newly independent nation, inspiring countless others fighting for their own liberation.
Section 6. The Constituent Assembly convenes. Following the speeches, the Constituent Assembly convened for its first session. The atmosphere within the chamber was electric, charged with a sense of history and purpose. The members of the Assembly, representing diverse backgrounds and ideologies, were united in their commitment to building a new India. Rajendra Prasad, elected as the President of the Constituent Assembly, addressed the gathering. He spoke of the immense responsibility entrusted upon them, the task of drafting a constitution for the world's largest democracy. We have to forge a new social order, he declared, based on justice, equality, and fraternity. The members of the Constituent Assembly, acutely aware of the challenges ahead, embarked on their task with a sense of determination. They debated and deliberated, argued and compromised, all the while guided by the principles of democracy, secularism, and social justice. The drafting of the Indian Constitution was a remarkable feat of collaborative effort. It was a testament to the vision and wisdom of the founding fathers and mothers of the Republic, who laid the foundation for a modern democratic nation. The Constitution, adopted on January 26, 1950, would serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come.
Section 7. A Sea of Humanity. Outside, the streets of Delhi were a sea of humanity. People from all walks of life, their faces alight with joy, poured onto the streets to celebrate their hard-won freedom. The air was thick with the sounds of laughter, music, and patriotic slogans. Processions wound their way through the city, with people dancing and singing, their voices hoarse with emotion. The tricolor was everywhere, fluttering from rooftops, balconies, and lampposts. It was a carnival of freedom, a spontaneous outpouring of joy and relief. For many, this was a moment they had never dared to dream of, a moment that validated their long struggle against colonial rule. The euphoria was infectious, cutting across religious and social divides. India was free, and the people were determined to celebrate. As the night wore on, the celebrations only intensified. Fireworks lit up the sky, painting the night in a riot of colors. The air throbbed with the beat of drums and the melodies of freedom songs. It was a night that would forever be etched in the memory of those who witnessed it.
The celebrations were not confined to Delhi alone. Across the length and breadth of India, people erupted in jubilation, from the bustling metropolis of Bombay to the coastal city of Madras, from the eastern plains of Bengal to the western deserts of Rajasthan. The spirit of freedom was palpable. In villages and towns, people gathered around community radios, listening to the speeches of Nehru and Mountbatten. The airwaves crackled with the sounds of celebration, as local musicians played patriotic songs and villagers broke into spontaneous dances. The celebrations were a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring power of hope. After centuries of foreign rule, India had finally regained its freedom. It was a moment to savor, a moment to reflect on the sacrifices of the past and the promise of the future. As the sun rose on August 15, 1947, it illuminated a new India, a nation reborn.
The dawn of August 15th marked the beginning of a new era for India. It was a day filled with the promise of a brighter future, a future where Indians would be masters of their own destiny. The challenges were immense, but so was the determination of the people. The newly formed government, led by Jawaharlal Nehru, faced the daunting task of rebuilding a nation ravaged by colonial rule. Issues like poverty, illiteracy, and social inequality loomed large. The partition had left deep scars, displacing millions and igniting communal violence. Despite the challenges, There was a palpable sense of optimism in the air. India had thrown off the shackles of colonialism and embraced democracy. The world watched with keen interest as this ancient land embarked on its journey as a modern nation-state. The legacy of that historic night would continue to shape India's destiny for years to come. The ideals of freedom, democracy, and social justice enshrined in the Constitution would serve as guiding principles for the nation's progress.
The events of August 14, 1947, marked a watershed moment not only in India's history, but also in the annals of world history. The end of the British Raj, one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, signaled the beginning of the end of colonialism. India's struggle for independence, led by Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance, inspired countless other movements for freedom and justice across the globe. The birth of independent India heralded a new era in international relations, one marked by the rise of newly independent nations and the decline of colonial powers. The legacy of that historic night continues to resonate today. India, despite its many challenges, has emerged as a vibrant democracy and a major player on the global stage. The values of pluralism, tolerance, and secularism, enshrined in the Indian Constitution, stand as a beacon of hope in an increasingly polarized world. The spirit of freedom at midnight, the spirit of unity and hope, continues to inspire generations of Indians. As India continues its journey as a nation, it carries with it the legacy of that momentous night, a legacy that continues to shape its destiny.
The journey since that historic midnight has been one of remarkable progress and enduring challenges. India has made significant strides in various fields, from economic development to scientific advancement. It has emerged as a global leader in information technology, space exploration, and pharmaceuticals. However, the nation still grapples with issues like poverty, inequality, and social injustice. The dream of a truly inclusive and equitable society remains a work in progress. Yet the spirit of that historic night, the spirit of unity and determination, continues to fuel India's march towards progress. As India celebrates each Independence Day, it is a time to reflect on the sacrifices of the past and the promise of the future. It is a time to reaffirm the nation's commitment to the ideals of freedom, democracy, and social justice. The journey ahead may be long and arduous, but the spirit of freedom at midnight continues to illuminate the path. The story of India's independence is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human heart, the enduring power of hope, and the transformative potential of freedom. It is a story that continues to inspire. A story that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the dawn is always just a heartbeat away.